Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of League of My Own. It's your boy P Way and the one and only Jasmine.
What's up, guys?
And guys, we are excited to have you all here today. We're definitely, you already know, we have to talk about the national championship.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it. You already know we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. It is that time of year. We're excited. I'm excited. Matter of fact, enough of the wait. Let's get this thing started.
All right. First, I want to congratulate Michigan on their win. They win the 2024 national championships versus Washington Huskies 34-13. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first, before we get to the game, I got to talk about TP Wade the Giant.
Congrats to
Of
him.
balling on another level. He didn't call me today, which I'm surprised. I was expecting him to call me and really rub in this win. For y'all that don't know, he has moved to Michigan. I have moved to Washington State. So we had a little friendly, let's say, wager bet going on, and he got the best of it. So, respect is due. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congrats. Now back to the topic at hand. So this game, man, watching this game, it got ugly from the get go. It was really ugly from the get go. You saw Michigan running the ball heavy. I forget how many yards they have. How many yards?
It was a total of 303 yards, and then Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, they each ran for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Okay, so we got Michigan running for 303 yards. That is crazy. And both of their running backs eclipsing 100 yards. That's not a formula for winning in any form or fashion. When you have both running backs running for over 100 yards and playing at that level under the big lights, that is a recipe for disaster. So Michigan really got the ball rolling early. And sometimes it's things like that. It's the momentum. It's the punches early that can really just change, the pace of a game. And that's what I saw. I saw that Michigan started off heavy and Washington was just never able to recoup and really get their footing in this game. It's like boxing. They didn't come jabbing. I mean, it's almost like they got hit with a left hook that shook them up early. And for the rest of the fight or the rest of the game, they were wobbled. So that's the way I looked at it.
So breaking it down a little bit, how do you feel about the performance of Michael Penix?
I feel Michael Penix. I'm going to be honest with you, Michael Penix. I talked about you last week having that excellent college performance, that Trevor Lawrence type performance, that Deshaun Watson, just college performance that we won for the books. But nobody remembers the person who got all the way to the Natty and lost. And you, my brother, you did not play a good game. I'm just going to be honest. You came up short. The lights were bright, and I don't want to say you froze under the lights, but you weren't delivering. You were throwing passes over your receivers, throwing them behind your receivers. You threw an interception, which is unlike you. You just didn't have a good game when it counted the most. Now I know Michigan's game plan and pressure has some a little bit to do with it. But some of them plays, your best receiver was wide open and you just failed to deliver. So I was really, really, really let down by Michael Penix's performance. Um, I really wanted him to have a good game, especially knowing his story. This is a guy who redshirted, went through so many injuries, and now has found his way to transfer to Washington. Had two great years with Washington, got them to the national championship. You know, this guy's been in college football for dang
6
near,
years.
yeah, 6 years.
Yeah.
So I really, really wanted him to push through, but it's just the lights, I guess, were just a little too bright, and he did not have a great game. And I really think if he did, they would win. They would have won this game. I feel like there was a lot of moments where they could have swung the momentum, but it just didn't happen. So, to my brother Michael Penix, I really hope that you use this game as a lesson going forward as you go to the next step in your career, because you're going to be on an NFL roster. You have the talent, but use that lesson. Use the pain for your next step.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Now, do you feel like Washington was outcoached?
Definitely, definitely, definitely we're outcoached. I
Yeah.
mean, Jim Harbaugh, shout out to you. And this once again shows the levels. We're looking at a guy who has that NFL pedigree, that experience, and he did his thing. And him and his staff, they did a great job putting this team in the right position. They rattled Michael Penix early, and they stuck to their guns. They was physical, and this was the only big weakness I saw in Washington was their defense. I saw that, in the interior, that they're not that great on the D line. They don't have a great pass rush or stopping the run. And that's exactly what Michigan knew. They knew that if they could run the ball effectively early and keep, pounding the rock, that they could win the natty. And that's what they did. So I think they were definitely outcoached, because when it came to Washington's offense, they couldn't react or really change their game plan. They did a bad job really adjusting to Michigan's physical defense. It really didn't change from the first quarter to the fourth. So definitely, yes, they were definitely outcoached. And, once again, shout out to Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Jim Harbaugh, do you think he's going to return back to Michigan or take his talents back to the NFL?
That's a great question. That's a great question. It's hard to leave success, but he seems to me to be a type of individual, a type of guy who loves the challenge,
Mm.
right? He was with the 49ers. He wasn't doing a bad job with the 49ers when he got fired. Definitely had some great, great records. I know one year they went 13-3, but he was ultimately let go. And then when you look at the fact that he came back to Michigan and did a heck of a job there for a couple years, and now has won this national championship. The NFL is going to be calling, and they're going to, offer him quite the sum. So we're going to see how this all plays out. I can see him leaving, because the fact that he went to college showed me it was like, okay, I'm going to come here and I want to dominate and win. One, because this was his alma mater. This is the school that he went to. So he wanted that challenge to go back, win the championship for Michigan. And now I feel like he's the type to say, you know what, let me go back to the NFL and show these guys I belong here too, and I can win a Super Bowl. I just feel like he's that type of individual, who wants the challenge, who likes the challenges. But another thing that I noticed after the game that I thought was real cute. Y'all can see how the primetime effect is everywhere. Michigan players had the shades on. Jim Harbaugh had the shades on, after the game, and tried to, put that swag on and stuff like that. We all know where that came from. We know that was straight the prime effect. And this really just shows. And even though they're winning the natty, what I'm looking at is, crazy as this sounds, I'm looking like Colorado's coming. Colorado's coming. In some type of way, the prime effect made its way to the national championship. If you don't think players notice this, like, it was cool to see Jim Harbaugh do it, but it's different to see Coach Prime do it. But I'm going to, ease back on that. I'm going to let Jim Harbaugh have his moment. But, I definitely noticed that. I definitely saw, the prime effect. So, anyway, shout out to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. You are the 2024 national champions,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys deserve it
Mm-hmm.
outrightly. I mean, you guys dominated the whole season from game one to the natty. So salute to y'all and congrats.
Congrats again.
Hmm.
Now, during the national championships, EA Sports was rumored to release some news about the NCAA video game,
Hmm.
but nothing came out. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, what can we think? What can we really think? This is something that we've been waiting since 2000, what, 14, I want to say, for some type of news for this game to come back. And what better time to release a trailer, release, a spark video, some type of energy, some type of just teaser, just to get us like, oh snap, it's coming back, something. Than the national championship.
Build that anticipation.
Build the anticipation, like, guys, we want this game. It's very clear. The public has said it. The fans have said it. Players have said it. We want this game. All y'all had to do, y'all didn't have to do much. Y'all could have just flashed NCAA football 25 coming soon. Something. Just something. I mean, but to do nothing, it's just like, y'all, you know what? Thinking about it, it might have been reverse psychology.
You think so?
I don't think so. It might have been, let's not do nothing just so we can talk about nothing, just to make us want it more. That's probably what y'all doing.
So it's working.
It's working. It's definitely working because I can't take it. I'm ready. I'm ready to play the game. I'm ready to I want to do the high school mode. I want to get recruited. I want to do the recruiting. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be the coach prime effect. I want all that. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be the 5-star recruit, play my way. I'm not even going to Madden. I'm just going to keep doing it over. I'm going right back to high school and keep doing the career all over again. Guys, EA Sports, come on, y'all. Come on. We need y'all to deliver something soon. Y'all dropped the ball. This was the national championship at halftime. Y'all could have released something. Y'all could have flew, the balloon over the stadium or something, with NCAA, something, man. And this really, really, I was hyped. I was searching all over the internet for news and release and expecting something. And all I got was, hey, you guys got us. Y'all didn't release anything. So EA Sports, do something soon, period. Give us something. Give us some news soon because we're ready for this game, for real.
Keep your hope alive.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
So moving on to the NFL, the playoffs are here.
Mm-hmm.
They are finally here. What are your first round predictions?
Oh, man. The playoffs are here, guys. Remember, it's crazy looking back from week 1 and looking at now. Teams like the Packers made it in. Mm-hmm. We got the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud made it in. Cleveland Browns with their quarterback situation, they found a way to stay strong and make it in. And it's crazy. The Steelers, Mike Tomlin has a way. He has a way of just winning. And they made it in. So this is real interesting when it comes to the playoff picture. And I think that the first round is going to be interesting. I mean, you have the Ravens on the bye, of course, waiting. You have the 49ers waiting. It's going to get interesting like ASAP. I got the Steelers, even without TJ Watt, somehow beating the Bills the first round. I think that somehow they're going to will their way. I like what Mason Rudolph is doing. Their offense is running a little smoother. And even without TJ Watt, their defense is consistently solid. So I'm going to go with the Steelers upsetting the Bills. I feel like Josh Allen, this is just not a great year for him. I do feel like he turned it on a little bit that last week, but I just feel like his inconsistency this year will, show again. So I have the Steelers beating the Bills. Moving along, Houston Texans playing the Cleveland Browns. C.J. Stroud, great job. You're a rookie. We didn't pick you up as the Carolina Panthers. We picked Bryce Young. That's okay. My man J. Cole said, the good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You're now going to have to play the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns defense, you're not winning that game.
Good luck.
you're not winning that game, especially in Cleveland with Flacco playing the way he is. Great season for you, but it's a wrap. If you pull this off, I am hurt to the core because we drafted Bryce Young. If you somehow find a way, my brother, to beat Cleveland, oh, I'm going through it. I'm going through it. So, but I think it ends here. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland Browns beating the Houston Texans. Next, we're gonna talk about them boys, Dallas versus Green Bay. Listen, this is not going to be much of a game. Dallas is just a better team when they're at home. When they're in that stadium, that beautiful stadium, you know, and they got Jerry Jones paying the refs and stuff like that, like the game is over. They're just much more efficient. They play better. Their energy's better. They're more focused, and they're going to win. So, I did say in my last video I see them losing the first round, but that was with the anticipation that the Eagles will finish stronger, which they didn't. So,
Not at all.
yes, Dallas is going to beat the Packers. Speaking of the Eagles have Tampa Bay. Now, Baker Mayfield has been playing some better football. And when I saw him out of Carolina, I thought he was just horrible. But I realized it wasn't him, it was us. So I believe that Tampa Bay will actually defeat the Eagles in this wild card round. And the reason being is just that the Eagles right now are not consistent and are not playing great football, period.
Yeah.
And, Jalen Hurts is struggling a little bit. The connection with A.J. Brown has went down tremendously. The defense is struggling a little bit. So, all this going into the playoffs where the Bucks have slowly been trending forward. So I really feel like Tampa Bay is going to edge this one out. And Eagle fans, are going to now shift their narrative on Jalen Hurts because that's how Eagles fans are. They're very, wishy-washy sometimes and tough, on their players. So I have Tampa Bay beating the Eagles. Mm. So on to the next game, the LA Rams versus the Detroit Lions. And I feel like this game right here is going to be the most competitive out of all the games by far. I feel like just the way both of these teams are playing in that, good range, I really think that this is going to be a head-to-head collision and a high-scoring game and one of those fourth quarter last-minute wins. Mm. I'm going to go with today. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to push this through. I just think that their run game with Montgomery, and they're going to just find a way just to edge a win. And, their rookie Gibbs and stuff like that. I just feel like the two in the backfield, just like Michigan, they're going to do a good job running. So I'm going to give the edge to the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
Now moving on to Miami versus Kansas City. This is another good game because, Miami's been flashy and every now and then their offense has produced very, very well. And Kansas City has been very inconsistent. But it is playoffs time, guys. It's playoffs times. And the best players are going to play their best football in the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's what they do, especially when you wear 1 and 5 on your jersey. Pat Mahomes been here before. We're not going to doubt him. We did that already. We saw what happened. Okay? He's got 2 of them. He's got 2. We got to remember that. So we're going to put some respect on him. All right? We're not going to treat him like any other quarterback. And I think that he is going to do enough to win this game, especially because Miami has not been playing well against good teams. They're beating all the teams they're supposed to, which is good. That's what a good team does. But they're not beating the great teams.
Right.
So I have Kansas City beating the Dolphins. So those are all the games for the wild card round. And I'm just excited because this is just one of those years where there's no clear favorite in the NFL. We had years, we knew the Patriots were going to the Super Bowl. Even last year, like the Eagles were the favorite. We knew that was happening. The Chiefs in the past, we knew they were going to the Super Bowl. And this year, it is really, really up in the air. I can see the Cowboys beating the 49ers. I can see the 49ers beating the Cowboys. I can see the Ravens slipping against the Browns and losing somehow. You know, I can see a lot of different scenarios on how this will play out. So this is a great, great thing for the National Football League. And I want y'all to let me know in the comments. Let me and Jazz know. Comment. How do y'all see the first round going? Put y'all winners in the comments and I'm going to respond. So I want to appreciate all of you guys, all of my fellow leaguers, my League of My Own supporters, and my ballers, my balling on another level supporters for coming once again to support me and Jazz on our weekly show as we do our weekly wrap-ups for all the great sporting events that have taken place. So we appreciate y'all, and we're going to see you all on our next episode of League of My Own.
Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. We'll see you guys soon.
Peace.